Imagine two people standing at the base of a massive snow-capped mountain. The first person looks at the peak and sees an insurmountable obstacle, a cold, dangerous wall of rock that is designed to humiliate them. They think about the blisters, the thin air, and the very real possibility of falling. The second person looks at that same peak and sees a laboratory, a place where they can test the limits of their own will and discover exactly what they are made of. To them, the mountain is not the enemy, it is the teacher. The physical conditions are identical for both, but their lives will follow two completely different paths based on a single biological and psychological factor: the winner's mentality. We often think of winners as people born with a special gene or an unshakable confidence, but the truth is far more fascinating. A winner's mentality is a physical architecture of the brain that you can build brick by brick, starting today. This is the story of how you can rewire your internal software to stop being a spectator and start becoming the architect of your own victory. To understand the science of winning, we have to look at something biologists call the winner effect. This is a phenomenon observed across the entire animal kingdom, from tiny crustaceans to elite athletes. When a creature experiences a victory, no matter how small, its brain receives a surge of testosterone and dopamine. This chemical cocktail actually changes the physical structure of the brain, making it more efficient at handling stress and more aggressive in seeking out the next challenge. In humans, this creates a biological feedback loop that can be expressed as a simple progression. Success leads to increased chemical confidence, which leads to better performance, which leads back to more success. The winner effect proves that winning is not a destination, it is a momentum. However, many people are stuck in the opposite loop, which we call the victim mindset. From a psychological perspective, this is defined by an external locus of control. When someone with this mindset fails, they blame the economy, their boss, their genetics, or the weather. By placing the cause of their life outside of themselves, they effectively give away all their power. A person with a winner's mentality, however, operates with an internal locus of control. They believe that while they cannot control the wind, they are the only ones responsible for the sails. Even in the face of a total disaster, a winner asks, "What part of this was under my control, and how do I use this data to win next time?" To a winner, there is no such thing as failure. There is only data. The mathematical power of this mindset can be seen in the principle of marginal gains. Imagine if you improved yourself by just 1% every single day. On day 1, the change is invisible. By day 30, you are starting to notice a shift. But because of the way compound interest works in biology, the results are explosive over time. This means that if you improve by just 1% every day for a year, you will end up nearly 38 times better than when you started. Conversely, if you get 1% worse every day, you practically wither away to zero. A winner understands that they don't need to leap over the mountain in a single bound. They just need to win the next 5 minutes. One of the most practical tools in the winner's toolkit is the 40% rule, a concept popularized by elite Navy SEALs. The rule states that when your mind tells you that you are finished, when your lungs are burning, and your brain is screaming for you to quit, you are actually only at about 40% of your true capacity. The other 60% is a massive reservoir of energy and resilience that your brain keeps in emergency storage to protect you. The winner's mentality is the ability to bypass that early warning signal from the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for fear, and listen instead to the prefrontal cortex, which handles logic and long-term goals. By leaning into the discomfort, you slowly expand your quitting point until the things that used to break you now barely even make you sweat. But how does this look in practice? It starts with the way you talk to yourself. Most people are their own worst critics, using language that sabotages their progress. A winner practices cognitive reframing. Instead of saying, "I have to go to the gym," they say, "I get to go to the gym." Instead of saying, "This project is too hard," they say, "This project is going to require a higher version of me." This isn't just toxic positivity. It is a tactical choice to keep the brain's reward centers active. When you view a challenge as a threat, your body produces cortisol, which shuts down creative thinking and makes you physically weaker. When you view that same challenge as an opportunity, your body produces adrenaline and dopamine, which sharpens your focus and increases your pain tolerance. Another critical habit is the micro-win strategy. If you want to develop a winner's mentality, you cannot start by trying to win a marathon. You start by winning the battle against the snooze button. You win the battle against the messy desk. You win the battle of drinking a glass of water before your coffee. Each of these tiny victories sends a signal to your brain that says, I am a person who does what I say I will do. This builds identity capital. Eventually, your self-image shifts from someone who tries to someone who executes. Once your identity changes, your behavior follows automatically. It becomes harder to sit on the couch than it is to work out, because sitting on the couch no longer fits the winner version of yourself. We must also talk about the 4-minute mile effect. For decades, doctors and scientists believed it was physically impossible for a human to run a mile in under 4 minutes. They claimed the human heart would literally explode. But in 1954, Roger Bannister proved them wrong. What is truly incredible is what happened next. Within just 1 year of Bannister breaking that impossible barrier, several other runners did the same. Did human physiology change overnight? No. The mental barrier was removed. The winner's mentality is about being your own Roger Bannister. You have to believe in a reality that hasn't happened yet, purely because you have decided to create it. In the modern world, the biggest enemy of the winner's mentality is the dopamine trap. We are surrounded by cheap, easy hits of dopamine from social media, junk food, and endless streaming. These activities provide the reward without the effort, which effectively numbs your brain's drive to seek out difficult, meaningful victories. A winner practices dopamine fasting, or delayed gratification. They understand that the highest quality of joy is found on the other side of a difficult task. By choosing the hard path today, they ensure an easier life tomorrow. As the old saying goes, hard choices, easy life, easy choices, hard life. To maintain this mindset, you must also be ruthless with your environment. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you are surrounded by people with a victim mindset, their cynicism will act like a slow-acting poison on your own ambition. Winners seek out other winners, not to compete with them in a destructive way, but to be sharpened by them. This is the iron sharpens iron principle. When you see someone else succeeding, a loser feels envy, but a winner feels inspiration. They see the success of others as a proof of concept that the goal is achievable. Finally, a winner knows how to rest. There is a toxic trend in grind culture that suggests you should sleep when you're dead. But true winners look at rest as a weapon. Just as an elite athlete needs recovery time for their muscles to grow, your brain needs downtime to integrate new skills and maintain emotional regulation. A winner doesn't burn out. They prime themselves. They prioritize sleep, meditation, and silence because they know that a sharp mind is more effective than a tired, busy one. They don't aim for busy. They aim for effective. Developing a winner's mentality is a lifelong journey of self-mastery. It is about realizing that you are the captain of your soul and the master of your fate. It is the quiet voice at 5 a.m. that says, "Let's go," and the steady hand during a crisis that says, "I've got this." By taking responsibility for your actions, celebrating micro-wins, and reframing obstacles as teachers, you are doing more than just thinking positive. You are physically and chemically rebuilding yourself into a person who is designed to succeed. Thank you for exploring the psychology of the winner's mentality with me today. If this deep dive into the winner effect and the 40% rule gave you the spark you needed to tackle your next big goal, please hit the like button. It helps our community of high achievers grow and ensures these stories of human potential keep reaching people who are ready for a change. What is one micro-win you are going to commit to today? Let me know in the comments below, as I am genuinely interested in seeing your progress. If you want to keep unlocking the secrets of health, motivation, and the science of a better life, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell. Until next time, stay healthy, stay motivated, and move forward.